Hi you guys, welcome back. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracey, and in this video, I'm going to explain what oil pulling is, and I'm going to tell you about my experience with oil pulling with coconut oil. So stay tuned. Oil pulling is the practice of swishing oil in your mouth for whatever period of time that you decide, and then simply spitting the oil out into the garbage when that amount of time is up. Now, it sounds like a strange practice, but oil pulling has actually been used in Ayurveda healing for thousands of years. And so this is actually an Indian technique that people have now just kind of been catching on to over the last few years here in the Western world. So oil pulling has many benefits for your oral health as well as your physical body. The only problem is that there are not a ton of experiments, like actual research experiments done on the benefits of doing and practice of oil pulling, really outside of the oral benefits. But for people who have done the practice of oil pulling, they have stated all over the place on the internet that the oil pulling definitely has benefits outside of only benefiting your oral health. Did you know that your mouth can actually have over 700 different types of bacteria? And did you know that at any given time, up to 350 of those bacteria could be living inside of your mouth? At any given time. Ew. So, if that information is kind of disgusting to you, then you might actually be interested in oil pulling, because oil pulling actually removes the bacteria out of your mouth, gums, and tongue. So as you're swishing the oil, then the bacteria is actually getting trapped in the oil. So that is why it's very important to refrain from swallowing the oil as you are practicing the oil pulling technique. You do not want to swallow all of these toxins and bacteria that you're actually absorbing into the oil. So once your time is up, you simply spit that oil into the trash can, so that way all the bacteria is just out of your body when you're done. Now, there have been several studies done about oil pulling in regards to oral health benefits. Doing an oil pulling practice definitely reduces the amount of harmful bacteria in your mouth. And it's also been shown in some studies as well to help people who actually have severe gingivitis. Because not only does coconut oil kill the bacteria, the harmful bacteria in your mouth, but the coconut oil is also anti-inflammatory. And so therefore, any inflammation that is happening in the gums or whatever parts of the mouth that you might be experiencing some pain, that inflammation will begin to go down as you swish the coconut oil. Now, in my own personal experience, I know that there have been times where my husband has a little bit of a sensitivity in his tooth, and it actually gets a little sore on him from time to time. So whenever that happens, I have him swish with coconut oil. And he does not practice it on a daily basis at all, but whenever he is having an issue with his oral health, I ask him to just simply do a 20-minute oil pulling session, and he does, and it has helped him with his sensitivity and the pain that he sometimes feels in that tooth whenever it's happening. Now, as far as the oral health as well, my husband's parents tried oil pulling after I had explained the benefits to them as well in the past. And back then, my husband's dad actually told me that the oil pulling removed old coffee stains that were, like, he thought permanently just like stuck on his teeth. But the oil pulling actually helped to remove the stains from the surface of his teeth, therefore helping to whiten his smile. So oil pulling can even help with whitening your smile, and it's a very obviously organic and natural way to do that without any harmful ingredients. The last time I did the oil pulling practice a few years back, I actually had such good results with my oral health that even my dentist took notice of it. So after I began the oil pulling between my dental cleanings, I went in to get my cleaning done, and I ended up telling the dental hygienist that I had been swishing with coconut oil and that I had expected to get a clean bill of oral health. And so she literally rolled her eyes at me and asked me why I thought that swishing coconut oil would make a difference for my oral health. She literally kind of like belittled me as I sat there in her dentist chair. So anyway, I just kind of let that roll off my back, whatever. And then I let her start cleaning. And literally in the middle of her cleaning my teeth, she stopped, pulled her mask down, looked me straight in the eye and said, "What did you say you were doing with the swishing?" And I told her again, well, I've been oil pulling with the coconut oil. I've been swishing coconut oil. And she said, well, whatever it is, I think it's maybe working because you normally have moderate plaque, but this time you have pretty much no plaque. And that just lit me up from the inside, because then it was like someone who was even a skeptic when I told her what I was doing then couldn't help but to see the results right there in front of her face. And then she even told me that she saw those results. So I thought that was really kind of a cool testimony to the oral health benefits of oil pulling with coconut oil. Coconut oil has even been known to help with halitosis, which is bad breath. And so actually bad breath is a condition that it affects about 50% of the population. So if you have issues with that, then you may want to try oil pulling with coconut oil, because that could definitely help by removing some of those bacteria that could be causing the odor in the breath. So a few years back, I actually did practice oil pulling with coconut oil each and every day for 20 minutes a day. I would simply take a spoonful of coconut oil into my mouth, and I would swish the oil as I took my morning shower and, put on lotion after my shower. I would still just be swishing the oil around in my mouth. And when approximately 20 minutes are up, then I would simply spit the oil into the trash can, rinse my mouth with warm water a few times, brush my teeth, and move on with my day. So it's that easy to incorporate into your day-to-day life. But as I did it back then, I was actually practicing the oil pulling because I had heard of it from Dr. Oz, and so I just decided to try it for some of the oral health benefits. Now, as time went on and I was practicing this oil pulling technique, people began to ask me all the time, what are you doing? Are you losing weight? What's going on? And are you on a diet? And that kind of stuff. And I would literally have to tell all kinds of people, no, I'm not on a diet. No, I didn't start a workout routine. Literally all I've changed in my life is that now I swish coconut oil in the morning. And people would not understand what the heck I was talking about. But literally, evidently I lost weight when I wasn't even trying, when I was swishing the coconut oil. So anyway, there were definitely some other benefits that I was starting to realize. But back then, a few years ago, life kind of got in the way, and I eventually just kind of fell out of that daily routine of oil pulling, and I haven't done it in such a long time. So fast forward to the present day, and it was just a couple of weeks ago, I went to the beach with my family, and I ended up getting a pretty bad sunburn. So after suffering with the sunburn for a couple of days, I began to peel. And when I began to peel, I was looking for something in my closet in the bathroom to just kind of help with my skin, to moisturize. I couldn't really find anything. I didn't want to put a scented lotion, you know, on damaged skin or anything like that. I didn't want any weird ingredients. And then I came along a jar that had just a little bit of coconut oil left in it. And I was like, oh yeah, coconut oil, this will work. And actually, it really did help to ease the peeling and to actually accelerate it and make it be over with faster. Really, it was a great thing for me to find the coconut oil. But that is what made me sit and think about all of the benefits that I had a few years ago when I did the practice of oil pulling. So of course, as I thought of that, I was like, well, I guess I could do this again. I'm gonna promise myself that I will be disciplined with the oil pulling practice for 30 days. And I want to see what types of benefits that I might experience on this go around. I started my 30-day oil pulling on June 16th, and so it is now my plan to complete these 30 days straight of oil pulling, and then I will make a follow-up video for you guys. I want to tell you guys what I experienced from adding in the oil pulling into my daily routine. So be sure to check that video out once I get it to find out how the oil pulling practice benefited me. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, please be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. That'll tell the algorithms that people like this video and they should show it to more people. But thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.